If your bedroom door creaks open at 3:12 a.m. and you're frozen under your blanket, which terror would you rather face? The slow, suffocating dread of something ancient standing silently in the corner of your room, or the realization that your soul has wandered too far and something else is trying to come back in your body. Tonight, we're not just comparing two horror movies, we're stepping into them. And by the end of this story, one of them will follow you to bed. The night I tested fear, I didn't plan to turn it into an experiment. But after years of watching horror films alone in my apartment, I kept hearing the same debate, which is Scarier, The Conjuring or Insidious, both directed by James Wan, both rooted in supernatural terror, both capable of leaving the lights on all night. So I did something stupid. I watched them back to back, alone, at night. No phone, no distractions, just me, and whatever they stirred up. And somewhere between the clapping hands in the dark and the red-faced demon grinning behind a crib, I realized something terrifying. These two films are not afraid of you in the same way. They hunt differently. Chapter 1, The Conjuring, Fear That Feels Possible. When The Conjuring begins, it doesn't scream. It whispers. The Perron family moves into an old farmhouse. There's laughter, moving boxes, warm sunlight through dusty windows. It feels normal. That's the first round. Because the horror creeps in gradually, a clock stopping at 3:07 a.m. bruises, appearing without explanation. Doors slamming. Children talking to someone unseen. There's no dream logic, no surreal dimension, just a house. That could be yours. That's what makes The Conjuring terrifying. It roots itself in realism. The story is based on the real-life cases of paranormal investigators Ed Warren and Lorraine Warren. Now, whether you believe in them or not doesn't matter, because the film is structured like a documented haunting. The camera lingers. It waits. It doesn't rush the scare. And when the scare comes, it feels earned. The clapping game scene isn't loud at first. Two hands clap from inside a wardrobe behind a mother searching in the dark. No music swell. No warning. Just the sickening realization that something is there, waiting. The Conjuring thrives on anticipation. It weaponizes silence, stillness, shadows. You scan the frame looking for movement, and sometimes you see it. Sometimes you don't, which is worse. Why The Conjuring feels so real. Grounded cinematography. It uses steady, slow tracking shots. You feel like a witness. Religious horror. Exorcisms tap into deep cultural fears. Family vulnerability. It's not teenagers in a cabin. It's children in their beds. No safe space. Every room becomes infected. The farmhouse becomes a trap. And here's the psychological twist. The Conjuring tells you evil invades from the outside. Something ancient. Something demonic. Something targeted. That's terrifying. But it's still contained. The evil is in the house. Now let's step into the other film. And this is where things stop feeling safe. Chapter 2, Insidious. Fear that breaks reality. Insidious doesn't start with a haunted house. It starts with a child in a coma, but he's not medically ill. His soul wandered too far. The concept alone is disturbing. While The Conjuring says something entered your home, Insidious says you left your body and something followed you back. The film introduces the further. A dark, fog-drenched dimension filled with lost spirits. And that's where the terror changes. This isn't a haunting you can cleanse with holy water. This is existential horror. Your consciousness can drift, and you might not return alone. The red-faced demon reveal is one of the most shocking jump scares in modern horror. No build-up music, just a sudden cut, and he's behind the father's shoulder, burned into your brain instantly. But beyond jump scares, Insidious does something worse. It destabilizes reality. Time bends. Spirits wander in daylight. A dancing ghost boy appears to a mother casually folding laundry. The horror doesn't wait for darkness. It intrudes. And when the father enters the further, the film abandons physical rules entirely. That's when the fear shifts from realistic to cosmic, the core difference in fear. Let's break it down psychologically. The Conjuring fear, external evil, religious demonic, slow burn dread, fear of invasion, insidious fear, internal vulnerability, astral projection, sudden violent shocks, fear of losing your soul. The Conjuring scares your house, Insidious scares your existence. My breaking point. Halfway through my experiment, something strange happened. After The Conjuring, I checked my closet. I laughed at myself, but I checked. After Insidious, I didn't check anything. I didn't want to close my eyes because the idea that my consciousness could drift into some black, endless void, that lingered. And that's when I realized something important. The Conjuring makes you afraid of what's in the dark. Insidious makes you afraid of sleep. One targets your environment. The other targets your mind. The sound design war. Both films use sound masterfully. The Conjuring. Floorboard creaks, distant whispers. Sudden silence before impact. Insidious, violent string screeches. Distorted baby monitors. Unnatural echoing voices. The Conjuring builds dread like tightening a noose. Insidious slams the door in your face. Which is scarier depends on how you process fear. Do you prefer slow suffocation or sudden cardiac arrest? Emotional stakes. Here's where The Conjuring pulls ahead emotionally. The Warrens aren't passive characters. They risk themselves for the family. There's sacrifice, faith, human connection. The exorcism scene feels desperate and grounded. Insidious, on the other hand, isolates. When the father travels into the further, it feels lonely, hopeless, almost nihilistic. And that ending twist? When you realize something came back with it, that final smiling photograph, it lingers. So, which is scarier? Objectively, The Conjuring is scarier in terms of atmosphere, realism, psychological dread, long-term unease. But Insidious is scarier in terms of concept, jump scare, impact, existential horror, visual nightmare fuel. If you believe in demons, The Conjuring will haunt you. If you fear losing control of your mind or soul, Insidious will. The final verdict. At 3:47 a.m., after both films ended, I turned off my TV. My apartment was silent, too silent. I walked toward my bedroom, and I stopped halfway down the hallway because my door was slightly open. I don't remember leaving it that way. In that moment, I didn't think of the farmhouse. I didn't think of clapping hands. I thought of the further, of something standing behind me, waiting for me to fall asleep. And that's when I knew my answer. The Conjuring is terrifying, but Insidious? Insidious follows you inside. It doesn't haunt your house, it haunts your mind. And when the lights go out tonight, you won't be checking the closet. You'll be wondering if you're still alone in your own body. So tell me, if something whispers your name at 3 a.m., would you rather it be in the hallway or inside your dreams? Choose carefully, because one of them doesn't need the lights on. It just needs you to close your eyes. If you watch to this level, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon for more dark, thought-provoking stories that dig deep into the human soul.